Good evening, East Coast Reflector. This is Gil, K4GDS, and this is Open Mic Night. Tonight we have Terry, N5RTC, and Mark, KE2EDS, as our hosts. Yours truly will be your logger, and our two net controllers are Dave, WB8ODF, and Norm, NY1US. Sorry about that. Text your check-in to 716-317-9050, or via email, send your call sign to text@eastar.radio. The question for tonight is, what is your favorite way to spend time on the radio, such as POTA, SOTA, LocalNet, CW, RAG2? What do you like to do on the radio? So without further ado, let's go ahead and get tonight started. Controller for the first half hour again is Dave, WB8ODF. So Dave, go ahead and take it away.
All right, thank you very much, Gil. You were unmuted there, so I was getting terrible echoes there. So sorry if my reply here is a little long. All right, so we've got people coming in right now. I have Walker in for WBF, and let's see if we have more check-ins. Anybody, anywhere, general check-ins.
WB8ODF, please copy. W2PW, Whiskey 2, Papa Whiskey in the mobile.
Victor Alpha 3, Yankee Bravo Sierra. Victor Alpha 3, Yankee Bravo Sierra.
Mike November.
All right, let's take these four we've got right here. I've got Mike November. We didn't get your prefix. Please give us your call sign again, if you would, please.
VE3 Delta Echo Romeo.
All right, let's take these Mike November. You can check in again if you want. Little down the log sheet. We've got VE3DER, VA3YBS, W2PW, and N4WBF. Walter, you're first. Good evening. And the question of the day is, what's your favorite way to spend on your radio? Suggestions: POTA, SOTA, LocalNet, CW, FT8. What's your favorite?
Yeah, this is N4WBF. Thank you for having me tonight. And I'm such a new ham, actually as of January 12th, that I don't really have a lot of experience doing different things like POTA, SOTA, but I will say this, that I've really enjoyed rag-chewing with local guys on the local repeater and joining in on local nets, and I will have my first local amateur radio club meeting tomorrow night. So I'm looking to get a lot more experience. Tomorrow night we're going to be building a roll-up J-pole for the meeting, so that should be exciting. And I want to give a shout-out to Terry, N5RTC. He was the first ham that I actually made contact with after getting signed up. So back to you, Ned.
I am always pleased to be someone's first contact, and I've had a few of them over the years. Press, I didn't notice you were mobile. I should have picked you up first, but let's go to you now. W2PW.
Good evening, Dave, and everybody on the net. W2PW. I'm not sure if you're copying me well. I'm in a surprisingly bad area for my repeater, but it's good to hear you. That's basically what I want to put out there. As for my radio passions, I like systems, repeaters, nodes, things like that. That's really pretty much what I enjoy with the radio. So back to you, WWF, W2PW on the mobile. Out when you're done.
Well, thank you for jumping in here. I thought you were going to be in and out, but you're mobile, and it was great to hear from you. All right, next up, Bill, VA3YBS. Good evening, and welcome to the Open Mic Night.
Good evening, Dave, and thanks for having me on the net tonight. I'm relatively new to the ham radio world, got licensed back last June, and so I haven't done any POTA or SOTA or anything of that sort. I do like going to Hamfest, but I'm going to say the thing I probably do the most and get the most enjoyment out is joining in on local nets like this. I have a few nets that I try to do whenever they're on. Our club back in Canada hosts a net every Monday night, and I try to get on that as much as I can and hear what everybody's got to say. So anyway, thanks very much for doing the net. I'll give it back to you. This is VA3YBS 73 to all.
Well, thank you for being here. Let's see. Let's go to VE3. Oh, wait a minute. Yeah. I already got you. All right. VE3DER. Donald, you seem to be new to the net. Tell us where you're located and any answer you have for today's question.
Yeah, the name is Don. I'm in Penetang, Ontario, where we have a good 3.5 feet of snow in the front yard. I've been a ham since '85, I guess, and I always enjoyed HF DXing and also reading the mail, and now I'm just confined to using an iPhone with the app called Repeater Phone, VE3DER.
All right, Don, we've got your name changed from Donald to Don. And would you please repeat the name of your city there? I heard you this morning, and I know the net control operator got it right. I couldn't even get close to that.
The Penetang, it's a Huron Indian word, which means the land of the white rolling sands. And it's spelled Papa Echo, November Echo, Tango, Alpha November Golf, Uniform India, Sierra Hotel, Echo November Echo.
Well, we had that down right. I just couldn't pronounce it if I wanted to, and I live in a city that almost no one can get the first time anyways. All right, we've got some text check-ins. We've got Joe, KO4FRR, Dick, WB2JPQ, and Chris, KQ4GLY, and last, Randy, W2RBC. Actually, I shouldn't say last. You're first, so good evening.
Sorry for the delay. I was IDing. Good evening, Dave, Norm, and everyone on the Open Mic Net. My favorite way to spend time on the radio is by doing DXing on HF. Contacting hams around the world is a lot of fun. Back to Net Control, 73 to all, W2, RBC.
All right, Randy, that would be, I live in a apartment complex. I can't put antennas up, but de-icing was my thing. I'm hoping to make it another thing. So thanks for being here. Chris, you're up next. KQ4GLY, good evening.
Good evening, Dave, and everyone on the net. I like listening to the ECR and local nets. Back to you. KQ4GLY.
Thank you, Chris, and I like those things as well. Dick, WB2JPQ, good evening.
Well, good evening, Dave. I was sitting here in a breakout room talking to Joe, trying to figure how many years ago it was when you used to help me out on that. Probably 9 or 10 years ago. It's good to hear you back. I guess I would have to just say talking on the radio. Would have to be my answer, but sounding good, everybody. Thanks. This is WB2JPQ.
Thank you, Dick. And I remember, it was 9 or 10 years ago, and I actually got to sit in the big chair. A couple of times you were on your way down to Florida and wasn't going to make the net on Tuesday on time, so you asked me to sit in, and I did, and I loved it, and I still love it. All right, Joe, you're up next, KO4FRR. Good evening, my friend.
Well, hello there, Dave. This is Joe, KO4FRR. I'm going to have to probably say local nets. I'll talk to you later. This is Joe, KO4FRR. Back to net control.
All righty, Joe. Can't wait till you make your next trip up here to Ypsilanti to have breakfast at the Bomber Restaurant with us. Next up, let me acknowledge a couple more text check-ins. We got VE3BZ, Kevin, and K7FPS, Fred. And starting those three off, we're going to go with Glenn, N3LLY. Good evening. And what's your answer for today's question, which is, what's your favorite way to spend time on the radio? POTA, SOTA, local net, CW, FTH. What's your favorite?
Well, good evening, everybody. And like Dick, I just like to talk on the radio. I'm just an old phone operator from way back, and when I don't do that, I like to listen. I'm an avid SWL for unique transmissions that you can dig out of the static, and also I like to play around on the medium wave band late at night. Those are what piqued my interest. I tried FT8 for a little bit, but didn't stick with that too long. So just put me down as a good old-fashioned phone operator.
All righty, that's what we got you down as. Fred, you're next from Reno, Nevada, K7FPS.
Hello. Yeah, this is you put me down for talking on the radio. That would be it. Anyway, and now that I'm retired officially as of today, that's what I'll be doing more of, in addition to a few other things. Anyway, back to you, K7FPS.
Okay, had to wait for my vocal ID there. Let's go to Kevin, VE3BZ, and then we also have Terry, N5RTC, and William, KQ4GWO. But let's go to Kevin first. VE3BZ, good evening.
Well, good evening, Dave. Hope things are well in Ypsilanti, Michigan. Favorite things to do on the radio? I like DXing on HF, single sideband, and FT8. The occasional contest and things like Field Day and other events like that. And I'd like to shout out to Don, VE3DER, if he's still listening there. He's local to me, member of the same club, so good to hear him on the East Coast Reflector. Oh, and I like networks like the East Coast Reflector, of course. Thanks for being there, Dave. Back to you, VE3BZ.
Thanks, Kevin. Always great to hear you on the nets. William, you're next. Wake Forest, North Carolina, KQ4GWO. Good evening. And what's your answer for tonight's question? What's your favorite way to spend time on the radio? Whatever you got.
Thank you, Net Control. Good evening, everybody on the net. Man, talking and speaking and meeting people all around the world, all different bands, you can't beat it. I also love talking locally on the net, so it's basically just talking on the radio, meeting and greeting and just having fun, meeting new people all around the world. Good evening to you once again. This is Kilo Quebec 4 and Golf Whiskey Oscar.
All right, William, thank you very much. And the man who talked me into doing tonight's net, Terry, N5RTC, good evening. And why did you do this to me?
You know, Dave, I had a great compliment lined up for you on what a great job you were doing tonight, and that it's like you had no layoff from the last time you did this, but I can't say that now. Like we used to have when we were young, and you may be too young to remember this, but we used to hang out on the street corner. Once the girls go by, in fact, there's a song. That's kind of how I feel about the Zoom room. You know, it's like my favorite street corner. So that's my favorite radio thing to do, hanging out in the Zoom room. N5RTC, back to net control.
Well, that is excellent. I do remember hanging out on the street corners back before it wasn't a cool thing to do. And we've got a lot of text check-ins tonight. I want to remind everybody that this is I had my reservations about it. Then I started using it. I never, ever did not get called into a net. The text number is 716-317-9050. 716-317-9050. Okay, up next, Walter, KE4NTG, again on the text line, Hollywood, Florida. Good evening.
Everybody, I'm glad I was able to get in. The local repeaters have some issues, and I had to run around and hook up my Raspberry Pi that was not on P25, but was on I can't think, Rick Bradmeister. But anyway, pleasure to be on here. I've never really checked into this before, but it's a nice group. I see you all on Zoom. Everybody has smiles on their face. But in any event, thank you for doing this, and it's a pleasure to be aboard. This is KE4NTG, back to net control. Here we go.
Thank you, Walter. Up next is, Jay, let me acknowledge Jay, K1MCO. I'll get to you in 1 second here. Bill's up next, KF0HMHN. That's kind of a hard one to say. KF0MHN. I got it that time. Good evening, Bill.
Hey Dave, how you doing tonight? You're sounding good. My favorite thing to do is talk on the radio. My favorite place is the East Coast Reflector, and you're doing a great job tonight. Take care. KF0MHN.
All right, thanks, Bill. Next, and this is last, we'll pick up some more general check-ins right after we talk to Jay. K1MCO, good evening.
Well, good evening to you, Dave, and good evening to all the stations listening on the open mic night. I believe it's my first time checking in on this net. Usually on the morning brew, pretty much every day. But good evening to all. To answer your question, Dave, my favorite modes is pretty much all of them. I don't do CW, but all of them. I do parks on the air, I do lakes on the air, local nets, I'm pretty much everywhere. D-Star, DMR, you name it. All-Star. That's what my nickname is, the Voice of Orlando. So that's the answer to my question tonight. 7-3 from K1MCO.
Okay, well, I just kind of learned something there that I'll have to look up after the net, but lakes on the air, I've never heard of that. Lakes on the air. That sounds interesting. All right, we're going to take some check-ins. Anyone, anywhere that would like to check in, just give us your call signs twice, please, and slowly.
Kilo Mike 6, India Oscar Kilo, Kilo Mike 6, India Oscar Kilo, mobile in Northern Oregon.
Kilo India 7, Golf X-Ray Romeo. Kilo India 7, Golf X-Ray Romeo. Matt, mobile in Portland, Oregon.
Kilo 2, Charlie Mike Tango, K2 CMT.
K8 VKY, K8 VKY, mobile in and out.
K2AP, K2AP.
Flip. Bravo Mike, K2 SCM. K6 GBZ, K6 GBZ, in and out.
KHT, Kilo Charlie 2, Kilo Hotel Tango.
Kilo Foxtrot 4, Zulu Lima Golf, Kilo 4, Zulu Lima Golf, check me in and out, 73. KR4, COH, Kilo Romeo 4, Charlie Oscar Hotel, no traffic at this time, top of the evening to the net, will be IO in and out, monitoring. K.
Golf Lima Sierra, November 2, Golf Lima Sierra, in and out.
All right, let's acknowledge the in and outs. We got KR4COH, KF4ZLG, K6GBZ, and Vicky, she's mobile and in and out, KE8VKY. All right, so all the way from the bottom, we've got KR4COH, K2SMSBM, K2AP, Mike, K2CMT, Matthew, KI7GXR, and Brian. I'm sorry, that Carl is KM6IOK. All right, let me start at the top, which is, all right, I scrolled down too far, is K6ADS Andrew in Maryland. Good evening.
This is Kilo 6 Alpha Delta Sierra, currently in Orlando, Florida. I hope you were calling me. I wasn't sure if you were reading the list or what have you. So always enjoy the nets on the East Coast Reflector, and thanks for having me. K680S.
November 1, November Echo Whiskey, Mike in South Florida.
All right, hang on here. Let me get Brian. Brian, you seem to be new to the net here. K3ORL in Orlando, Florida. Good evening.
S1, this is K3ORL, Brian, in Orlando, and I'm a recent retiree, just retired 38 and a half years as an engineer with AT&T. Been a ham since 2022, and I'm finally starting to spend some time on it. I listen to the Morning Brew quite a bit, and this is my very first time checking in on the East Coast Reflector in general, and that's one of the things I like to do. I like nets, whether they be local or East Coast Reflector. I also like to do some POTA, and I like to talk on D-Star reflectors. Thanks for having me on, and I look forward to being on a lot more. K3ORL.
All right, Brian, well, welcome. We have lots of nets on here. Thanks for being here for the open mic night. We've got a couple of mobiles, which they told me in the Zoom room I missed. Let's go with Carl, who's mobile, KM6IOK. Good evening.
Hello, everyone on the net. This is Carl KM6. I'm okay. And one of my favorite things is check-ins and nets and doing POTA. So I'm just quick and simple. Thanks for taking my check-in. 73, KM6, I'm okay.
I like that, Carl. I like that. I'm okay. Matthew, you're up next. You're mobile on, yeah, you're on, I keep scrolling down too far. KI7GXR, Matthew, good evening. And what's your answer to tonight's question, which is, what's the favorite way to spend time on the radio for you? POTA, SOTA, local net, CW, FT8, whatever is good for you. Good evening.
For having me this evening. Good to hear you. Good to talk to you. And hello to everybody on the net. My favorite thing to do is local nets, and I check in nightly. We've got quite a few where I am, and there's always a lot of interesting things going on. A lot of areas and other local organizations. And I also like listening to East Coast Reflector when I'm driving, which I'm doing right now. And I checked in a few times on a couple of the nets. I need to check in more often, but depends how close I am to my node to access it, my repeater. Anyway, KI7GXR. Have a good evening.
Well, thank you for being here. Mike, you're up next, one of our facilitators, K2CMT. Good evening.
89, next monitoring.
Good evening, Dave, and everyone else joining us this evening on Open Mic. POTA is my number one thing at the moment, and I'm a hunter. I don't want to be an activator. It looks like too much work. You got to actually write stuff down. But POTA and HF is my thing. I've claimed the fame right now, and that may change on down the road, but it's hot and heavy right here. WB8ODF, K2CMT.
Well, thank you, Michael. I think it was you that told me I missed a couple of mobiles there. Thanks. I thought that was you. Next up, Joe. And East Islip? Okay. You got me on that one. K2AP. How do you pronounce that, Joe?
It's easy to remember. It's in New York where it's freezing cold and it's I slip.
because there's so much ice out there. It's pretty easy to do that. So ice slip. And I guess my favorite thing is building things. Also, I want to get involved in POTA. So, and of course, talking on the ECR Reflector is one of my most favorite things. K2AP, back to net.
All right, Joe, I got it now. I slip. I slip. I slip, you slip, we all slip. Joe, you're next. I'm sorry, Joe. Sean, you're next. K2SBM in Greensboro, North Carolina. Good evening.
Good evening. Appreciate you taking my... And I'm a relatively new ham. About a year and a half ago, I got my ticket and then upgraded a few months back to go to the general. But POTA, I like getting out there and activating. I've gotten into that in the past few months, and I've really enjoyed it. And it's kind of fun to get out there and explore different areas and parks and places to activate. And I really enjoy that side of things. I also, in the evening, I like checking into and monitoring nets. I kind of wind down for the night. So I enjoy both those things immensely. So, and I'm just continuing to learn and explore. So appreciate you taking my check-in. I'll send it back to you. K2SBM.
All right. Well, thank you very much for checking in. As a matter of fact, thank all of you. I thank all of you for checking in tonight. This is my first night back on the East Coast Reflector doing a net session. I enjoyed the heck out of it. Now I have to relinquish control to Norm, NY1US. Norm, it's all yours, and thanks for backing me up. And Gil, thank you for doing the heavy lifting back in the back room doing call signs. This is Dave, WB8 ODF. I had a great time. Thanks.
Thank you very much, Dave, and we had a great time listening to you as well. So very good. Nice job tonight. And everybody, welcome to the second half of the ECR Open Mic Net. I'm Norm, NY1US, and I'll be your net control station for this half hour. If you'd like to follow the check-in log, please visit ecr.radio/logs and click on Open Mic Night. Also, if you want to avoid check-in pileups, you can text your call and nothing but your call to 716-317-9050. Or you can email your call to text@ecr.radio. And tonight's question is, what is your favorite way to spend time on the radio? I have a list that we need to start with, so let me scroll down to the bottom here. There we go. Okay, we have KC2KHT. Henry, good evening to you. And what is your answer to the question tonight?
This is Henry, KC2KHT, East Islip, Long Island. And I do a lot of listening, but my favorite is voice communication. I've been very interested in getting involved with POTA. Radio, it's too heavy to take out, but I would like to get into POTA. To the net, KC2KHT out.
Good. Well, thank you very much for your answer, and thanks for checking in tonight. We do appreciate it. So we'll go down to KR4COH, Hector, in Jacksonville, North Carolina. How are you doing tonight? And what is your favorite thing to do on with the radio?
It was a tough evening to the net. I was in and out, but I guess you pulled me back in. Just when I thought I was out, you guys pulled me back in. Favorite thing is all good. I mean, I like to listen 20 meters, 40 meters, 80 meters, sideband, working on the antennas, upgrading the radio, just accumulating all kinds of accessories for these radios. It's all good. And I love it. I'm back again. I just got my license not too long ago, last year. I guess I started in the 70s. First radio was a 2510. But yeah, it's all good. The bug bit me, like the CBs used to say in the 70s. The bug bit me, and that's it. I'm hooked. I love it. Talking to people around the world. I used to, when I first started in the 70s with my first ham radio, which was the 2510 unit, President unit. What I used to do was a lot of skip with the DX cards, the postcards. And what I used to do was, and that's how I started collecting, I used to send American $1 overseas, wherever, I would contact. I contacted with a regular radio, 200 water, was Czechoslovakia, and they would send back their currency, because I didn't realize a $1 bill at that time was incredibly high. And you'd be amazed at all the stuff that they would send me. I would send $1 in the mail with a postcard in an envelope, and they would send me all kinds of stuff, stickers and money and coins and bills. So yeah, it's a beautiful hobby. It's a great hobby. With that, getting back to net control, you guys have a great evening. This is KL4COH. We'll be monitoring the frequency.
Good, Hector. Well, thank you very much for that. And this is why we couldn't let you be in and out, because we knew you would have the best answer of the night. So thank you very much, and glad that you checked in tonight. So we have N2GLS who is in and out. So we'll go to N1NEW, Mike, Pembroke Pines. Good evening. And what is your favorite thing to do with amateur radio? N1NEW, are you on it? Nothing heard, so I'm having some text check-ins to acknowledge. We have KE2EDS, Mark, from Elba, New York, N2ZFN, ZVN, Alan Kendall, and N2BH, Bill in Palmyra, New York. So do we have any other check-ins for the open mic night? If so, please give your call twice and slowly.
N1NEW, I was trying to get back. I had a technical problem. You want me to wait?
Go right ahead, Mike. N1NEW from NY1US. Go right ahead.
Okay. I apologize for the delay, the issue. Anyway, to answer the question, I like the nets, local nets, and ECR, which is much broader than local net, along with rag chewing with my friends from the local amateur radio club. That's pretty much where I hang out in amateur radio. Anyway, thank you, and back to the net, N1NEW.
Very good, Mike, and thank you very much for checking in tonight. So now we need to call some check-ins. So any check-ins anywhere can check in, and please give your call twice and slowly.
KE2ELI, KE2ELI.
N6QDY, N6QDY mobile, in and out.
For Golf 1 November Yankee Sierra for T1 NYS, Steven.
For 6, Mike November,
Kilo Oscar 6, Mike November.
E2ELI, Jeff, from West Henrietta. And we have an additional KO6MNMMN. Now, is that your correct call there, sir? KO6MMN?
Kilo 06 MMN. Kilo 06 MMN, or Mike November. I just got my call sign this morning about 5 a.m.
WB2KAO.
The top of the list was KE2EBS, Mark. So what's your favorite thing to do with amateur radio?
Great job you got going there. Dave, great job as well. And Gil on the lawn's doing an awesome job. My favorite thing right now is POTA. I've gotten the bug a little bit. I need to get on a little bit more, but I do enjoy POTA. And of course, I love the ECR. Have a great evening. Back to the net. KE2EDS.
Mark, thanks for checking in. N2ZVN, I don't know why I keep saying F. N2ZVN, Alan and Kendall, good evening. And what's your favorite thing to do with amateur radio?
Well, good evening, Norm. Everyone on the net tonight. Well, reading the question, I love fixing them and working on them, but going by the question, you know, when I get some quiet time, and it doesn't happen often, but when I do, I love to go down in the shack, turn on the HF rig, pick a band, and start at the bottom and work all the way up to the top. And listen for CQs or somebody that's activated POTA, and just, you know, talk with them and stuff like that. And if I hear digital activity, then I'll start up FL Digi and see what I can do with that. But yeah, I just love spinning the dial, take a listen. So, and I want to give a wave to WB2KAO and 2ZVN back.
Very good, Alan. Thanks. And yeah, that is the fun part about radio, is spinning the dial and seeing what's out there. I agree with you 100%. So, Bill, N2BH, good evening. And what is your favorite thing to do in amateur radio?
Good evening, Norm, Dave, Gil. Everybody's doing a great job. You can call me crazy, but I still enjoy being a net controller. Of course, I do Morning Brew a couple days a week, and fill in on a local net. In fact, filling in tomorrow night for one, and in a rotation for another local net, and just fun talking to everybody. And 2BH.
Thanks, Bill. And yes, it is. It's very, very fun to run that, that's for sure. And you do a fantastic job at it yourself. So. This is NY1US. You're not controlled tonight. And we'll move on to KE2ELI. Jeff in West Henrietta, good evening to you. And what's your favorite thing to do with amateur radio?
Evening, Norm, and it's nice to hear you on the East Coast Reflector. I think Tim would know this best about me. I love to build antennas and use them, make contact with them. Nothing gives me a bigger thrill than designing and building an antenna from scratch and then making a contact in Europe or Russia or South America. It's like the greatest feeling ever.
Very good. And that's for sure, building an antenna and having it work properly. Excellent, excellent. Thank you for checking in tonight. So we'll go out to Batangas City and Stephen and 4G1NYS. Good evening to you. And what's your favorite thing to do on amateur radio?
you, Norm NY1US. This is 431NYS. My name is Stephen from here in Batangas City, Philippines. It's a 9:45 in the morning here on Thursday, coming up and supporting the open mic night. My answer to your question, the most favorite hobby that I am doing with the amateur radio service is running the net. That's why I can't check into the morning brew as often as I would like, because we're also running my club's net at 1200 UTC, or 8 o'clock in the excuse me, at 8 o'clock in the evening, our local time, every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Anyway, running the net is quite my favorite, because you're the one who's calling in for everybody on the hobby, rather than falling in line and waiting for your turn. But it's quite running my adrenaline a bit, because we meet everybody from across the world. Anyway, since I mentioned that my favorite is running the net, I would like you all to invite to drop by on our All-Star League 585546. That is the All-Star League of my club, Delta Zulu 1 Romeo Echo Charlie. This is 4 Golf 1 November Yankee Sierra. My name is Steven, sending it back to the net control.
Yeah, thank you very much, Steven. And can you give me that net, or that All-Star node number one more time, please?
Norm NY1US, our club's All-Star League is 5855546. Again, 585546. Over to you.
Very much. I think I will check into that. Absolutely. Thank you for checking in. We appreciate it every time you do. So have a good night. KO6MMN.
back to you.
Thanks very much, Brian, and thanks for checking in tonight. And that's one thing good about amateur radio. There's so many facets of it. There's a lot of different things you can do and accomplish with it. So thank you for checking in, and we'll move to Joel, AC8WS. Good evening, Joel. And what is your favorite thing to do with amateur radio?
AC8WS, good evening, everyone, and thank you for running the net. I'm really enjoying it. You know, it's changed over the 10-plus years I've been doing it. You know, when I first started, it was all technical stuff. How do you make computers work with radios? And how do you make this work with that? And eventually I would break things and fix them. Lately it's been, you know, building all-star nodes and getting my Raspberry Pi in as a headless mode and plugging DV630s into it so I can have an AMBI 3000 chip. You know, working out the technical details, and there's never an end to that. But ultimately, it's talking to people. You know, we're in an HOA. I've got an antenna farm in my attic, but it doesn't do real well for voice. So I do all modes digital. And I just love the nets. I love talking to people all over the world, you know, comparing northern climates to southern climates, you know, and just things that they're doing and finding common grounds with. And, you know, when it comes right down to it, any way you can get on the air and talk to people, QSY to an empty channel and speak for an hour about things that are in common, I think that's what the hobby is all about. AC8WS, back to you as net controller. Thanks again for doing this.
Thank you, Joel, for checking in. We do appreciate it. I agree with your answer. That's a good answer, that's for sure. So, but you know, one thing we have is we have something going on almost every day and night on the ECR. To join in the fun, check our calendar at www.eastcoastreflector.com/ECR-calendar. The times are your local time. So you can find out everything that's going on the ECR and join us when you can. We do appreciate it. So do we have any other check-ins, general check-ins who would like to participate in this net tonight? Please give your call signs twice and slowly.
KD9PEV, KD9PEV.
Kilo Golf 7, Kilo Mike Juliet. Kilo Golf 7, Kilo Mike Juliet. In and out.
Hey, we got a couple of stations here. We have KG7KMJ, Tony in Portland. He's in and out. And we had a call with PEV in the call. Could you give us your call again, twice and slowly?
KD9PEV, KD9PEV, Caleb in Wisconsin.
Very good, Caleb. Thanks for that. And anyone else who would like to join the net, please give your call signs twice and slowly. KE2HJY, Kilo Echo 2, Hotel Juliet Yankee. Very good, Charlie. KE2HJY, good evening to you. And we see you're new to the Reflector, so if your email is good on QRZ, you'll be getting a letter explaining your Reflector and telling you all the wonderful things that we do here. So, okay, we'll start off with KD9PEV, Caleb, and what you do in amateur radio.
All right. My favorite thing to do in amateur radio is weak signal digital modes like PSK31 and FG8. Thank you. This is KD9PEV.
Thanks a lot, Caleb, for that answer, and we do appreciate you checking in. KE2HJY, Charlie, good evening. And, what is your favorite thing to do with amateur radio? KE2HJY, Charlie, are you with us?
Yes, sir, I am. Really got nothing new and exciting. I just enjoy the camaraderie of the net, or nets. I believe this may be the first time I'm on this one. And thank you for letting me participate. Back to net.
Absolutely. We'll be to enjoy having you check in and having everyone participate, that's for sure. So I would say thank you to Dave and to Gil, who Dave was the first net control and Gil was the logger. And I thank all the participants for checking into the net tonight. It was a great net. We do appreciate you checking in and giving your responses to our questions. So tonight, it's past 9 o'clock, so this is NY1US, returning the East Coast Reflector to normal amateur radio use. Thank you, and come again next week.
N2ZVN, WB2KAO, you still there, Al? WB2KAO.